A Mortal's Journey to Immortality Episode 242. In the previous episode, in the midst of the chaotic battle, Han Li faced off against the powerful green-robed woman, a spell warrior whose strength defied his expectations. Her dazzling white lotus wasn't a magic treasure at all, but a manifestation of her own profound cultivation. Astonished yet resolute, Han Li countered with one devastating technique after another, the Yin Devil Execution, the Thousandfold Mountain, and finally the celestial ice flames. Yet the woman was equally fierce. Her lotus defenses absorbed his strikes, and her wind movement technique rivaled even Han Li's lightning speed. Their clash shook the air itself. Her lotus petals turned to deadly blades of light that sent Han Li flying, his armor cracking under the impact. But even wounded, he quickly restored his beetle armor before she could press her advantage. Furious, the green-robed woman drew upon an ancient, azure oil lamp, a relic so strange that even Han Li felt a twinge of unease. Realizing the danger, he chose not to confront her directly. With a flash of thunder and silver light, he vanished into the mist, seizing her ribbon hawk as he went. Outraged, the woman gave chase, her lotus gliding swiftly through the fog. Lightning and wind intertwined as the two vanished deeper into the formation's maze. It was there that Han Li stopped and glanced at the frozen ribbon hawk in his hand. With a cold chuckle, golden lightning flashed from his hand and shattered it. And the episode 242 continues. The ice-clad ribbon hawk shattered into pieces alongside the ice. Tiny shards floated in the air, catching the light as they scattered. Yet the green-robed woman, relentless in her pursuit of Han Li, only let out a cold, mocking laugh, with a sharp stomp of her foot on the white lotus beneath her. A powerful gale swept through the surrounding mist, scattering it instantly and leaving the air crisp and clear. Han Li's eyes narrowed as he carefully studied her expression, cold, detached, and dangerously confident. He spoke calmly, his voice steady despite the tense moment. As fellow Taoist, not heartbroken that her treasure was destroyed? Or do you believe my actions were insufficient to truly shatter it? He allowed his gaze to drift casually over the cleared air, ignoring the floating ice fragments that still glimmered faintly in the sunlight. The green-robed woman's eyes sharpened. She pointed directly at him and said sharply, "How about you tell me?" Instantly, the scattered shards of ice at Han Li's side began to glow with a blinding white light. Startled, Han Li quickly raised his arm, summoning a thick azure mist to envelop the glowing ice. But it was too late. The ice shattered, sending countless specks of radiant white light darting toward the woman like tiny shooting stars. His expression darkened as he saw his attack fail. Yet he refrained from wasting further effort. Instead, he focused on observing the formation of the white light in front of the green-robed woman. It gradually condensed into a head-sized sphere. With a swift strike of her spell seal, a piercing hawk's cry echoed through the air, blindingly bright, and the light solidified into the snow-white hawk once more. However, Han Li noticed something unusual. The hawk's spirit seemed weakened, lacking the fierce vitality it once had. Shattering the treasure had left a mark. It was no longer truly immortal. He realized with a surge of determination that, with repeated effort, the hawk could eventually be reduced to ash. The green-robed woman waved her arm nonchalantly. The hawk twirled through the air, transforming into a long, flowing white ribbon before vanishing as it touched her body. With one hand holding a bronze lamp and the other brushing her hair, she spoke with a detached tone. "Your sudden stop must have been to anger me by shattering my treasure. It seems this place was your contingency plan." Han Li's eyes glimmered with calculated focus. "Since you already knew this and chased me, you must be confident in the treasure in your hand. Perhaps you might tell me more about it. This is the first lantern-type ancient treasure I have ever seen." Her face darkened, and she responded sharply, "No. Rather, how about I send you off to the underworld?" She spat a ball of nascent flame into the lantern, causing tiny specks of azure light to rise slowly, dancing like restless fireflies. Han Li let out a quiet sigh, summoning a green formation flag and a red azure formation plate with swift gestures. He tossed the formation flag into the air and struck it with a precise spell seal while chanting an incantation. Green mist exploded outward, stretching 100 meters into the sky, then coalesced into a massive 40-meter-long flood dragon of green mist. Simultaneously, the formation plate transformed into white mist and disappeared into the surroundings, while countless threads of red azure light shot toward the woman in a dense, intricate barrage. He then summoned a small silver bell, which rapidly expanded and began releasing powerful, resonating silver sound waves. With all his preparations complete, Han Li streaked toward the green-robed woman, using the sound waves to assault her. Meanwhile, Silvermoon, his hidden ally, had burrowed beneath the ground within the formation, waiting for the perfect moment to strike with purple cloudless. The green-robed woman, seemingly unconcerned by Han Li's assault, lowered her gaze to the weak azure flames flickering in her bronze lamp. With a calm, almost disdainful sneer, she extracted a pea-sized flame from the lantern. The flood dragon of mist surged toward her. The red azure threads formed an unyielding net, and the silver sound waves hammered her from above. Yet she remained unshaken. The white lotus beneath her feet flared to life, its petals contracting to form a near-impenetrable barrier. The flood dragon's surge collided with the barrier, scattering harmlessly against the petals. The red azure threads layered and intertwined, surrounding her completely, while the silver bell's sound waves penetrated the barrier relentlessly. For a fleeting moment, it appeared the green-robed woman was restrained. Yet Han Li's brow furrowed. Her calm, focused demeanor told him the battle was far from decided. Suddenly, without warning, the lotus petals unfurled like deadly blades, scattering the mist and light threads into the wind. The green-robed woman stood at the center, expressionless, holding the bronze lamp in one hand and a small blue flame in the other. Her eyes flickered with sharp intent as she drew another ember from the lantern. With a practiced gesture, she sent it streaking toward the massive silver bell. The bell wailed as it was engulfed, molten silver forming under the intense heat, and the azure devil flame dissipated without a trace. Han Li's defenses lay in ruins, his face pale with concern. The green-robed woman, with practiced ease, drew another ember from her lantern, glancing maliciously at Han Li as if daring him to react. But before she could act, a sudden flash of purple light appeared beneath her, and a 40-meter-wide purple net surged upward, enveloping her entirely. From the net emerged a beautiful woman, her presence marked by a brilliant yellow flash. She laughed lightly and said, "Since you are fond of playing with fire, how about witnessing the might of my purple cloudless's jade sun flames?" Brilliant flames erupted across the net, forming serpents that lashed out fiercely at the white lotus, engulfing it entirely in blazing azure white fire. At that same moment, Han Li appeared about 40 meters away, summoning his 72 bamboo cloud swarm swords. They condensed into a single 20-meter-long blade, crackling with thunder and arcs of lightning dancing across its surface. A faint layer of celestial ice flame shimmered along the sword, adding an icy blue hue. With unwavering determination, Han Li pointed the sword directly at the white lotus, preparing for the decisive strike. At that moment, the green-clothed woman finally realized what had happened. In furious alarm, she flung the azure ember above her. And that wraps up this episode. In this part, we saw Han Li confronting the formidable green-robed woman, whose mastery over her ancient lantern treasure and the white lotus made her a fearsome opponent. Despite the incredible power at her disposal, Han Li did not rely on brute force alone. Instead, he carefully combined his own abilities with clever strategies, summoning the flood dragon of green mist, launching threads of red azure light, and controlling the silver bell to attack her from multiple angles. Even though the green-robed woman appeared calm and seemingly untouchable, we witnessed how shattering her treasure weakened the spirit of her snow-white hawk. This revealed an important truth in this world. Even the most powerful magical treasures are not truly immortal. And careful, repeated efforts can gradually break down an enemy's strength. The episode also highlighted Han Li's intelligence and adaptability. While he engaged the green-robed woman directly, he relied on teamwork and precise timing, making use of Silvermoon and the purple cloudless to create opportunities for a decisive strike. Every move, every formation, and every spell demonstrated that in a battle of such magnitude, strategy and observation can be just as critical as raw power. Through this episode, we also learned that even opponents who appear perfectly composed and confident can have vulnerabilities if one pays close attention to details. Han Li's ability to stay calm, assess the situation, and react flexibly under pressure showed that true strength is not only measured in combat power, but also in wisdom, patience, and foresight. This episode reminds us that battles are not just about overwhelming force, but about exploiting small weaknesses, maintaining careful timing, and understanding one's enemy. Han Li's journey is one of constant learning and adaptation, demonstrating that victory often comes from thinking one step ahead and combining one's skills with clever strategies. If you enjoyed this episode or found it exciting, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to receive notifications for the latest episodes in Han Li's journey. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video, where the adventure continues and the story unfolds even further.